Check, check, 1, 2. Checking mic. Check, 1, 2. Check. Check, mic, 2. Check, check, 1, 2. Good evening, Nasty Nation. This is what we've been waiting for. 365 days a year to all convene onto the Tibbs Eve Classic. Some would call it the greatest game in the history of not just Newfoundland sports, but sports in general. It's a heated rivalry between these two teams, Team 1 and Team 2. There's some beef from previous seasons. This is the first season where we will be presenting this to you live here on YouTube. My name is Nick Conway with Jasser Productions, bringing all of the action here tonight from the Fieldhouse Stadium. There's Andrew Curtis there. There you can see Riley Ward. Riley Ward seems to be coming over to the booth here. Riley, why don't you come on over here? We're gonna have our first live interview of the session. Riley, we're gonna bring you back here. The only mic's over here. You're gonna come around. So this is where we're going to pull up the face cam here. Riley Ward. So we're going to move this over. Riley, if you can just say into the mic, we'll pull that down. What are your expectations for this game? You have a tough matchup against Colin McKinnon, I heard you say beforehand.
Yeah, it should be a good game. I mean, he's a good athlete, but not really skilled. I mean, he uses his athleticism to his advantage. So on the offensive end, not too worried, but on the defensive end, it does cause some issues, but I've adjusted to it before, and I'll adjust it to it again to get Team 2 the win. Yeah,
now you're a known Shoop hater. This is your identity. Now that you've seen Shoop back on the floor here for the first time since his return from Pittsburgh, what are the emotions feeling like?
He should have stayed in Pittsburgh.
Wow, cold last words from Riley. We're going to send you back out onto the floor here now. The game is just about to get underway, folks. I've got goosebumps here, people. Goosebumps. Of course, we'd like to thank you for tuning in here live on YouTube. Due to some technical difficulties, of course, the power is not working here in this building in terms of being able to power our equipment. So if we go offline at any random time, just know that we can't get any power into the building here. So we're kind of just running on fumes. It's going to be a 30-minute long game here. No breaks in the clock there. You can see the clock on the top right-hand side of your screen. We're going to run down the rosters here for you in just a second, folks. Make that a little bit bigger as well. We're going to try and keep up with all of the action as it transpires. So we're just going to quickly get a shot of the benches now and just run down the lineups. So this is the Dark team, also effectively known as Team 1. On the bench there, we have Regan Seymour, we have Colin McKinnon, we have Alex Curtis, Josh Shoop Hiscock, who, of course, is making his highly anticipated return to the floor here for tonight's matchup, Paul Brun-Newhook, who is effectively team captain, some would say the bald team captain, and then we also have Ben Lundgren there as well, rounding out. We also have Liam Bavis there, just popping a squat there behind Alex Kurt Nasty, our supreme leader. Now we're going to turn to the other side where we get a good look at Team White. Team White getting their shots up before, and there you can see number 7 there, Justin Heptage getting his shots up on the mini hoop. Julian Breen-Dillon sitting there on the bench in the classic headband. Riley Ward giving him a smack. We heard from him earlier tonight. Andrew Curtis is pulling up in the Tracy McGrady jersey, just at a view of your screen there. There you can see he's pulling over, and, well, unfortunately wasn't able to get that fadeaway midi to go, but that's what you get him out in the pregame for. And, of course, Chris Edwards there, the team captain of Team White. Daniel Villamil wearing number 9 there. Jordan Heptage, the lone center on both the rosters, talking to Graham King. And that will round out both of the White and Dark rosters before we get started here. We're just getting set here, folks. Be sure to get your messages in on the YouTube chat. On the right-hand side of your screen, we're going to try and keep up as much as we can. And we have 2 comments that we're going to get to here. One from at Cbone9885 saying Team 2. So we got some Team 2 fans in the house tonight. There was a big poll on the Nasty Hoop Talk Instagram page where you could vote and see which team do you think was going to win. Team 1 slightly edged out Team 2. by, I believe it was just 1%, 51% to 49%. So fans are definitely thinking this one's going to be pretty evenly matched up here. And I got to say, Team 2 with the addition of Justin Heptage, maybe looking the better squad on paper, but we all know how Team 1 comes to compete. There we can see the aforementioned Justin Heptage. He was a late addition. He was believed to have had a broken toe and was left off of the initial roster sheet, but in the absence of Devin O'Keefe, we had 2 players step up, Liam Davis, and now Justin Heptage as well, part of the new breed, the new lease of life for this Green squad. As they're aging, they do need new blood, and that's exactly what they got here. But of course, the veterans are going to be leading off, so now we're going to see our supreme leader, Alex Kurt Nasty Curtis, setting the scenes here for the handshakes. As the 2 teams are going to be lining up for the ceremonial Shoop Jump Ball. At Slobby Robbie 1 saying, tuning in from Alabama, #1 top fan of the Nasty Hoop Chalk channel, Slobby Robbie. We appreciate you and all your support for your cousins. As Colin and Ronk exchanging words beforehand, this is going to get interesting, folks. We know those 2 have a rivalry against one another. And we're getting ready to start the clock here in just one moment. We got a little bit of a festive theme going for Team 1 and Team 2 being red and green. Of course, it is the holiday season. We'd like to wish you a Merry Christmas from wherever you're watching. Happy Tibbs Eve. And we are live for tip-off. It's going to be Regan Seymour against Jordan Heptage. And Seymour with just an uncontested win there. Or, excuse me, Jordan with an uncontested win there. Seymour uncontesting it. Here's Alex Curtis with an inside pass now to Colin McKinnon, getting things started off hot here. Ben Lundgren. Now to McKinnon. Back to Alex running point here. He's setting up the plays. Yeah, that's what you like to see out of your leader. As Paul looking for the pass inside for Ben Lundgren. That's just out of bounds, and first possession of the game is off of the mark. First minute of action here now is gone. Jordan Heptage finds Riley Ward. Cuts inside. Now finds Justin Heptage out at the elbow. Guarded well by Paul. Ends up finding Riley Ward. Up against Colin McKinnon. Here's Jordan with some handles, but Regan Seymour gets the steal. Comes back from Boston. And just like that, makes no mistake. Here's Justin Heptage going down the other way now after an impressive steal. He'll find Riley Ward, 4-3. Can't knock it down. Colin McKinnon. Driving. Cuts in on his left. Shifts back to his right. Can't get it over Riley's head. And we're just going to make this scoreboard a tiny bit smaller. As we see there. Still 0-0 in this one. Chris Edwards. Tried to find Riley Ward, but it's stolen by Colin McKinnon. Colin will take it down the other way. Drives on Jordan. Goes up. Mini Jordan. Justin. Here's Chris Edwards. Heptage. Finds Graham. In the MDJH Grizzlies top. That's the extra schmedium version, I hear they say. Now Colin getting Ronk to get a stop there as they'll transition down the other end. Here's Seymour. Seymour pulling for 3. Front side of the rim before it falls into the hands of Jordan Heptage. That one's off the mark. And we see Shoop into the game, folks. Shoop is now in the basketball game. It's confirmed. He's in. He's wearing his Lakers shirt. And there's a beautiful knockdown, too, from Chris Edwards to get the first 2 points of the game for Team 2. Here's Kenner. A couple of fake passes there. He got me on that third one, not going to lie. Here's Paul Brun Newhook for the pull-up midi. Over his man and gets that one to go. We're all evened up. Sure to keep those messages flowing in on the chat. Right-hand side of your screen. Let us know if there's anything you want us to do here. Justin Heptage will pull up and knock that one down from the top of the circle. Couple of good mid-range shots for both sides so far in this one. Here's a shoot three, and it's good! And it's good! Dip the nugget, shoot! You've got your first three back on the rock! I can't believe it, folks. Well, I can believe it because he's the best player in the world. Riley Ward gonna let one fly as well. Won't go for him. He's not Shoop. Told him he should have stayed in Pittsburgh. Justin and Alex battling down low. Here's Ben Lundgren. Driving in on his right now. Pulling up for the mid-range and gets it to go. The recent dominating team MVP. As Alex pointing at me there, saying that's two. As of my scorecards right now, it's 6-5. 6-5. Yeah. You have 7? Riley Ward. Now to Julian Breedale down by the baseline. We're going to confirm the score line as well at different stages. There might have been one I was missed during the beginning. 7-4 bet. All right. Alex says a 7-4, therefore I'm going to change it to 7-4. Here's Liam Davis knocking that one down. A little bit of controversy there. We're going to get a quick zoom. Here's Paul Brun Newhook pulling up for three. Won't go. Julian. Driving, gonna lose a handle on it, but picks it up again, finds Riley. Cutting in on his left, drives to the basket, and it's a great take from Riley Ward. I hear some protests for a travel, but as there is no referee, there's no one to call it. That's the big thing with street ball. Pass from Davis now to Seymour. I believe they met for the first time today. That's some good chemistry. Here's Ben Lundgren. Finds Paul Brun Newhook for three. Andy knew he didn't need to get a hand up there. Here's Julian. To Riley Ward. Andrew Curtis, three. Can't get it to go. Good board there from Davis, and almost had it stolen away by Graham King. He's a good hustle player, Graham. Currently 9-6 here in the Tibbs Eve Classic. Colin goes down hard there. And are they going to call a foul? They are not going to call a foul. Takes a bit of a hard collision. And if we could just... I was going to say if we get a shot of Alex. He's returned back to the bench there now. He was protesting that one. Here's Julian. Andrew Curtis, excuse me. Colin looking for the big steal, but that was a great pass to Daniel Villamil, who will let it fly. Big board by Graham. The Munn transfer to Prague, transfer to UBC. He's been globe-trotting Graham King. Can't get it to go there as Paul Brun Newhook will dance inside, takes a hard collision underneath the basket. And he's not slow to get up. He's a big boy. He can take that. He's used to throwing himself off the ground, playing lots of soccer in his youth. And now they're just going to decide what's going to happen here in terms of the foul to be called. "20 minutes left to go here in the Tibbs Eve Classic. Ball knocks it down. So I believe per the rules, that's another +1, although we will have to confer the scoreline afterwards. Justin, not able to get that 3 to go, and the main man himself, the supreme leader, Kurt Nasty, is on the ball. They'll find Bavis. LeBayview 3, trying to get that 3 off, but good defense by Julian. Seymour's going to blow past 1. Can't get past Andy, though, and Graham King will grab the rebound off of that attempt to the basket. Interesting dribbling there from Tracy McGrady. And Graham King, he'll let it fly, but he won't get it to fall, though. Seymour with a wired-on pass to LeBayview 3. He will cut into the paint and just try the one-handed floater, but it won't go. Justin Heptage now to Julian Breen Dillon, whose family now owns the sponsorship rights of the Breens, and Chris Edwards going to try and chase his shot there. He knew as soon as he let that one fly, it wasn't anywhere near it. Currently, Alex, the score is 10-6. Does that sound good? 10-6 for you guys. It sounds accurate, right? Alex says, I think so, in response. Here's Ben Lundgren. To Seymour for 3, knocking it down. He's back from Boston with a vengeance. Seymour knocking that one down. It's another 3 now, 13-6. Team 2 here, who are the odds-on favorite going into the matchup, certainly seem to be bested so far in the early stages. Let's see if Jordan Heptage can turn that around. He'll find Graham King in low at the baseline. Some post moves there, and Graham King will get it to go off the glass and in for his first 2 points of the game. Just slowly crawling their way back into it is Team 2. At War, Jake says, we want JBD. I want JBD too. I want JBD to give the team some more money. More specifically, his family. Shoot with a big hezzy there. Goes up and in off the glass. It's another points on the board for Josh Shoop Hiscock. This is all that we tune in to see here, folks. Josh Hiscock making money plays like that. This is what gets the fans out of their feet. Big turnover there, and Team 1 has all the momentum. Here's Colin finding Ben Lundgren to Shoop. Good pass now to Curtis. Now to Regan Seymour. This is great ball movement. Graham was in his face, had the hand up, but it's not going to matter. Regan Seymour, folks. That's the guy right there. The undoubted MVP so far in this one. Here's JBD for 3. And all the time spent out in the Marine Cove house with the basketball hoop, just not paying off for him there. Maybe if he spent a few more days out on the hoop instead of on the sticks, Julian? Colin left wide open. That disrespect was very loud and very worthy after that shot. It's Chris Edwards to Jordan Heptage pulling up for 3. Off the rim. Can't get one to go there, Jordan, the big man who seems to be running a bit of a Miles Turner role. Spinning is Ben Lundgren. Couldn't get the shot off, and that pass is hard into the palm of Justin Heptage. Chris Edwards will go up, and the wide open layup is good. No mistake there. $21-10. All right. I've been told by Alex now that it's 21-10 for Team 1. We will do with that information what we will. Jordan Heptage, some great post moves spinning inside up on Colin. Unfortunate to not get the finish, but he'll grab his own board. That's why he's the only listed center, because he is the tallest person here by quite some margin. But Colin McKinnon has that dog in him. He's not going to let that play go down without a fight. You can see him keeled over there. And we're going to see Justin Heptage. At Slobby Robbie saying, glad I took the over on points, and Shoop is cooking tonight. Very fair statements. I want to know what bookie you got. Where's the bookie that says Riley Ward is going to flex after a bucket? I would take the odds on that every single day of the week. We know he's a showboater, Riley Ward. He's got 2 more points on the board now. Team 2, 21-12. Colin McKinnon up. Won't get it to go, though. Riley Ward. Jordan. Pulling up for 3 again. Can't get it to go. And another strong board there by Colin McKinnon, who's really been making his mark under the glass there. Team 1 without a true center. It might be helping them. They're able to play this dynamic, free-flowing ball movement. That Seymour 3 is a little bit off the mark. There's a silky move from Justin onto his left, back onto his right. Great take off the glass. It's good defense from Colin to keep him out, but there was no stopping Justin Heptage on that one. And Paul going up for an easy lay. 23 points now on the board. At Faith Holloway saying 21-10 is crazy. I would have thought so too. Riley Ward 4-3. Can't get it to go. Could have dimmed the lead a little bit. But of course, I am beholden to the man who writes my paycheck, Alex Curtis. So whatever he says the score is goes. That is our supreme leader. It's the way we do things. Colin McKinnon left wide open again. The disrespect is so loud. And again, he's 0 for 2 on wide open 3-pointers. Danny heading straight to the top of the arch there. But Colin McKinnon gets a big steal on Andrew Curtis after he thought better. Pass back. Here's Colin McKinnon. Hands it off to LeBayview 3. Paul. There's the LeBayview 3. Gets it to go. The 3 for Liam Bavis. 26-14. Riley Ward. Jordan Heptage. Step back. Can't get it to go. Fadeaway mid-ranger. And now his brother will take a chance at it. And that one just on the verge of being the deepest 2 known to man. Danny calling for it. Shoots a 30, and as soon as he shot it, you could hear him say that one's off as he'll jog back to his own half. Right now it's 26-14 according to my count for you guys. We'll have to check the tape, of course, afterwards, but as of right now, this is the live score. Danny just not able to get a handle on it, and he loses all composure, lost an edge. He'll make his way back up to his feet. Ball goes the other way now, and this is just toying with him there. Connecting under the basket to Brun, to Ben, to Bave. Another 2 on the board. Here's Graham King now to Andrew Curtis. Pump fake, pulls up for 3. Danny with a strong board there. Can't get the putback option to go. And now Paul Brun-Newhook going to chase this one all the way down the other end of the floor. Ruled out of bounds. We're going to see a few changes here now for both sides. And it looks like Chris is actually going to stay on the bench. So we're just going to see Seymour check in for Collins. The only change. I believe when I speak for everybody here when I say we want shoot. Justin Heptage's 3 is off. The left-handed take from Graham is a little bit off the mark and almost gets it out of Alex's hands, but he's a dog down there. He'll get going. Cuts in. Tried to play for the foul. Won't get the bucket. But, of course, Ben Lundgren is there to clean up. Backwards hat plane is cracked, says that Warren Jake. I definitely agree. Graham King always one to set the fashion trend. Ronk's 3 is off, but Chris Edwards just can't seem to get it to go through the hoop on the putback attempt. Down low, he'll cut to the baseline again. 3rd time's the charm for Def Curry. By my count now, it's 28-16. If anyone's watching at home, wants to get their comments in, they can do so right-hand side of the YouTube chat. Be sure to share this stream around as, well, we don't know how much longer this is even going to last in terms of our laptop battery. There's no working outlets here in this room. So thank you for tuning in. That one off the mark, and it'll go the other way. Edwards into King. That's lovely ball movement. King can't get the open layup. He'll get it on the second crack at it. Here's Colin McKinnon. Seymour. To Shoop. Great moves there. Now to cut in himself over Andy. Tried to get it off the backboard to himself. Andy gets it. That's just an elite play. Great basketball IQ there from Shoop. Ben Lundgren with not as impressive of a play as Shoop's, but impressive nonetheless. He gets another 2 points on the board. At Brandon Lilly there saying great ball movement. Appreciate it, Brandon. Appreciate your continued support and appreciate you saying that these athletes are giving it all out there on the floor, which they are. No points either side, though. There's a little bit of a communication breakdown. We're going to get a foul call, I believe. So Ben Lundgren's going to get a chance here to knock down 2, and he does it himself. 32-16 is the current score line. Riley Ward now to Andrew Curtis. Thought about it, and Shoop was right there on the defense. Look at him go. Look at him go, Shoop. Makes it look so effortless. That's a hard collision underneath the basket there. Seymour's right up. Justin Heptidge, wide open 3. Front side of the rim. They have a chance to grab their own board, but that's the athletic play from Seymour, who's undoubtedly been a Team 1 star player, aside from Shoop. Can't get that 3 to go, though, Seymour. Here's Justin Heptidge. Driving in and gets to the baseline before he finds his man in the corner. Andrew Curtis. Pass is stripped there by Seymour. Pass intended for Chris Edwards. Now fakes the pass, takes it himself, and knocked out of bounds. No foul called. At Jackie Moon to 1612 saying, is a post-game is a post-game interview with Shoop in play. Give the fans what they want. It's not just the fans that want that. I want that. I think the universe not just wants it, but needs a Shoop interview. So we're going to try to get him at halftime here. We're also going to try and find a power source at halftime. So we will be taking a brief intermission. So far, just a shave under 9 minutes left to go here in that first interval. GK taking the pass from CE, and the score is now 32-18. Pulling up, Ben Lundgren. Hits about every part of the rim before it falls gracefully into the hands of Riley Ward. Driving it up against Regan Seymour. Good pass now to Chris Edwards. Back to Ronk. The 3 is almost good. Takes a couple of bounces, and G will spin, put it back up. And look at BD getting in there, that hustle play. Ends up finding Riley Ward. Great pass now to Andrew Curtis. Remember, there's no shot clock in a game of pickup, although Andrew Curtis will put that one up. Beads with the rebound. Here's Chris Edwards pulling up. 3 is off the mark again, and they keep getting these offensive boards. Team 1 just can't seem to grab a board right now, and they finally are able to get one. And the instant pressure from G will make it easy. And now Colin's timing a timeout, and we're getting a timeout called by Alex Curtis. Timeout has been called. So we're going to stop the timer quickly. 32-18 is the score. There you can see Team 1 in their huddle. And there's a quick shot at Team 2 as well. Hope you're enjoying this broadcast here on YouTube, on the Nasty Who Talk YouTube channel. It's been many years since there's been action on this channel, but we appreciate the continued support. It seems like we got a lot of fans here in the chat on the right-hand side. Be sure to keep getting those messages in, and we'll keep responding to them. Remember, anything you say here lives forever. Kind of makes me wonder why I'm calling this game. Ben Lundgren. Ball back in play. Curtis now. Right to Ben Lundgren. Coming out of the timeout with a set play there from our Supreme Leader. And you know what? I've been very critical, I'll be the first to admit it, of the Supreme Leader's tactics as of late. As we actually got to restart the clock. My apologies there. But I've been very critical. I think it's definitely safe to say. But with a performance like this, as Beads goes in, takes the good attempt there under the basket for 2. It looks like Alex Curtis may have his mojo back in terms of being able to lead a team to victory. Ben Lundgren having his mojo back is huge as well. He's been dynamite for Team 1. And there's some choice words there being exchanged between Jordan Heptage and Alex Curtis. Would love to be a fly on the court there. Heptage to Lawardew 3. Lawardew 3 off the top of the backboard in an actual game that would have been ruled dead. But this is the Tibbs Eve Classic. This is better than every other game. Heptage 3. Won't get it to go. I believe he's 0 for 3 now, definitely. Maybe 0 for 4. They don't pay me enough to really keep track of this. Ben Lundgren. And Colin McKinnon. Davis. To Kurt. To Seymour. Pass to inside to Colin. Gets past Graham King's defense. And the spin attempt off the glass won't go for McKinnon. Beads. Step back. Tries to find an option. He should have just let it rip. Indecisiveness cost him. Riley Ward pulling up from mid-range and makes no mistake there, knocking that one down. Just like that, it's a 10-point lead for Team 1. About to knock it down into single digits here with a stop and a bucket can Team 2. Alex has that one swiped away almost by Graham King, but he retains possession. Alex Curtis. Seymour. And I believe that one got a tip off of Ronk's finger, perhaps. And they're calling for it on the bench, too. And it will be called a tip in the end. Another case of Supreme Leader getting what he wants. And that's what you need, though, as if you're a Supreme Leader. As Supreme Leader Alex Curtis, GM coach, just misses that layup attempt, but we're going to forget about it. Jordan Heptage goes up and strong. Flexing after that one, Jordan Heptage. And that's what they needed, though, was a stop. And if they can get this and one here. Can't get it to go. 8-point lead now for Team 1. Team 2 with a big comeback so far since the break. Knocking it down there. What comeback, says Ben Lundgren. Andy needs a 3 for my parlay at Slobby Robbie. I don't know where you got those odds, but I needed them. I bet on Tracy McGrady hitting a 3, that's for sure. Kinner. Curtsy. Loses the handle on it. Seymour. Tried the floater. It was blocked by Jordan Heptage, and a big battle there. Oh, and Graham King sends Alex to the floor. It'll go the other way. Graham King tried the seam-through pass for Julian Breen-Dillon. Won't go. Quick transition here. One guy I want on my quick transition is Regan Seymour, but an even quicker defensive play there from Chris Edwards to get the block in. Team 1 will retain possession here, but at what cost? The boys are gassed. See the reaction on the bench from Justin. I believe Justin and Danny are maybe watching the stream there over on the bench. Here's Colin. Goes up with his left, and it's good. Hinner, 2-2. Forgot the rest of it. 2-2-7-3. Get another 2 points on the board. Jordan Heptage thought about it. Pump fake, and say go through. Colin McKinnon has been very strong on the board so far this game. With all that soup in his system from the soup off, surely thought something be sloshing around in there, but nope. No, sir. That one off the mark, speaking of no, sir. Here comes Riley. Up against Seymour. He loves his matchup against Colin. Matchup against Seymour. We haven't been able to see what he can do. Here's Beads against Ben. Beads taking him to the clinic, but just can't get the finish to go. And Jordan Heptidge, same. Got 2.5 minutes left on the clock here as Seymour will swipe that one. Bit of a dogged battle underneath the basket. Here's Chris Edwards. Jordan Heptidge spinning, looking for an option, finds Danny, and the layup is good for Daniel Villamil. And you can hear a loud "I got Shoop" call from Daniel Villamil, so he's calling his target. We're going to see if Bavis will end up hitting Shoop here. Alex, will he give the ball to Shoop? Ben Lungergan. Dancing past one, and Shoop with a great play there. Great awareness from Shoop passing behind the back. It's Ben Lungergan. And that's a textbook mid-ranger from Ben Lungergan. Jump shot, no complaints. 2 more points on the board. Team 1. Just when Team 2 thinks they can get right back into it, Team 1 puts the pressure on, and that surely is called a foul. So Justin Heptidge just needs to make one of these free throws. The time? 1 minute left on my clock. 38-24 for Team 1. 38-24. 1 minute left, 38-24. When Shoop asks, I didn't want to say it again like a parrot, but when Shoop asks, you got to do it, folks. You got to bend the knee. Misses that one, Justin Heptidge. That would have been a crucial free throw to get back into it. Of course, when you get fouled, the free throw counts for 2, just the 1, and Shoop knocks down another 3. Dip the nugget, Shoop, dip the nugget. He wouldn't dip the nugget for me, unfortunately. 41-24. Jordan Heptidge knocking that one down. Were his toes on the line? Potentially like Kevin Durant, but we're going to call it a 3 for the sake of the game. Shoop MVP. I could not agree with you more as he lets another one fly. Surely not. Riley blowing past 1, 2, gets the good finish from shifting from his left onto his right. We know he doesn't have much of a left, but it counts. Here's LeBayview 3. Off the backboard, falls into the hands of Villamil. Time is over, actually. Alex! Alex! And that will do it. We're going to call a quick halftime break. So we're going to get a quick... Alex is coming over to the desk here now, folks.
We should have 41, right? Because Shoop hit a 3 when you said 38. And then
I'm trying to get you on. I'm trying to get on the mic there. Alex, come over. Come over. Halftime interview.
41-27?
41-29.
Oh, okay.
41-29. We're going to bring you back here. We got the face cam.
Wow.
Alex, we've got you here talking to the mic after. Alex, what do we make of that first half?
Good pace. A little winded here myself. Just coming off a little bit of a flu game. Not loving my game individually, but I think our team's playing well. We're shooting the lights out. If we can just lock in on the defensive rebounding, I think we're in for a successful second half here. Long way to go. So we'll start another 30-minute clock. Or we'll start a 25-minute clock at 6:58.
All right.
And we'll hoop from there.
There we go.
Fail.
See if you guys can. I got one more question, Alex. Shoop, he's playing out of his mind so far this game. What did you make of his performance specifically during that first half?
Josh Hiscock's the MVP right now. This is a Shoop legacy game. I've never been happier to be a part of it. This is I hope the fans are enjoying this as much as I am because Josh Hiscock's going crazy.
Well, our number one fan here in the chat, Slobby Robbie, he's been putting up a whole kinds of Shoop love. Appreciate it, Alex. We're going to let you get back to it. We are going to take a short intermission as we try to find a power source as well. The game will be back with you in 4 minutes, folks. Count it, 4 minutes, and we'll be right back with you. Welcome back to the floor here, everybody. As there you can see the undoubted MVP of the first half, Shoop, is there on the bench. You can see Alex walk past there as well. His phone must be blowing up right now. That's why he's checking it of all the messages saying, "We love Shoop. We love Shoop. We all love Shoop." But we all love more of some good, high-quality basketball, which is about to be played here in the Fieldhouse side gym. (41-29) is the score, and now we are back underway. The clock is started. 25 minutes left on the clock, and we are going to stay with you folks right up until my laptop dies. That is a promise, which could happen anytime in the next 25 minutes, if we're being honest. Here's Paul Brun-Newhook on the ball. If you couldn't tell by the name, he is indeed French. The Brun part, not the Newhook part. It's had a good game so far, Mr. Brun-Newhook. And it looks like we're actually going to need a ball pump up here. We can get a nice zoomed in shot on that. This is the hard part they don't tell you about, folks, of being the coach, GM, leader. Oh, that looks suggestive, to say the least. Riley going in for a little third man watch, a little voyeur action. Now he's back out on the floor. Now we are finally back underway. The clock's been running this whole time because, unfortunately, we have a very strict set amount of time that we are allowed to stay in this building. Here's Graham King now to Jordan Heptich. Heptich down low, spinning up against Seymour, who's changed layers here, so it's going to be a little bit interesting now for my side of things to see if I can actually recognize him still. Ben Lundgren pulling up for three. Won't get it to go. Andy, no hand in the face. He knew. The biggest vibes player on the floor currently. Riley going up on Paul. He wanted that all for himself. Got a little bit Mr. Greedy on that one. Bayview 3, knocking it down, and that's big for Team 1. They needed to get the first points of the game on the board for themselves, prevent Team 2 from having any chance of clawing their way back into this one. Here's Jordan Heptich. Step back, and it's wet from Justin Heptich. That is clean. 32 now for him. Not him specifically, his team, I should mention. Seymour. They left Colin open. Colin, being a good little role player that he is. Great ball movement into Bavis. The connection between McKinnon and Bavis was absolutely sensational there. Stolen off of Andrew Curtis by Ben Lundgren. Here's Ben Lundgren taking it up himself. Rebound from Riley. Could this be the transition that they needed? Here's Riley. Slips out of his hands. Immediately back onto his head there in shame for what he had done. Here's Paul. Pour toi! Brun-Newhook, pour toi! Justin Heptich. Inside now to Graham King. Good matchup down low with him and Bavis at the baseline. He gets fouled. 2 free throws coming up for him now. Folks, I repeat, we are at 4% on the laptop battery. I repeat, we are 4% on the laptop battery. So this one might get cut off early. But if it does, had a great time here, folks. And stick to us right until the very end. Graham King missing that one, which would have been a crucial couple of points back on the board. Would have brought them to within 10. They haven't been within single digits in quite some time. Seymour tries to drive and take it himself. No foul. Here's Graham King pulling up for 3. Misses. Now Seymour will take it the other way. Good fast-paced basketball here. I'd say good, but neither of them can connect on a pass nor a shot. As we're going to quick restart here. That's what you love to see. Here's Andrew Curtis. Believed he may have stepped the foot out of bounds there, but who's watching? That one going out off of G last. Here's Justin now to Julian Breen Dillon. Now Justin Heptidge pulls up. A little bit of a able to lag. Seymour not able to get that one. No foul either. Here's King. Fine. Both gone. $2 then. While he's away from like the first 3 fixing up stuff. He's just to pull up one, so I believe that's the other 3 then. 2 of the guys. 40, 30, right, 30 can't get the store tonight. Okay. Then can't get.